Thai style curry? Yeah, we could do that. So today we're gonna make a Thai-inspired curry called Choo Chee. Now typically this goes over a fish, but we're gonna do this with chicken. So it's a little bit less traditional. We're gonna put a little bit of a twist on it, kind of more of like a Thai fusion type dish. It's gonna be a little sweet, a little spicy. It's gonna have nice umami notes. You're really gonna enjoy this one. Let's get into it. Here we go. The first thing we're gonna do is cook our jasmine rice in a rice cooker. About 2 cups should do it for this curry. Make sure you rinse your rice off until the water comes out clear. I like to substitute chicken stock instead of water. It adds a nice flavor to the rice, adds a little extra collagen. It also helps keep your joints healthy. If you don't have a rice cooker, don't worry about it. Go ahead and just cook the rice as it says on the back of the bag. Next, we're gonna sear off our chicken thighs. We're gonna trim the fat off of them and we're gonna sear them in a cast iron skillet with a little bit of oil. Now, if you have a grill, I'd recommend doing this on a grill because you're gonna get a nice char flavor. Mine's broken, so I have a very big Anyway, season your chicken both sides with salt and pepper to taste. Once they reach 165 degrees internal temperature, set them in a bowl, cover them with foil, and let them rest for a little bit. While our chicken's resting, we're gonna cut up a chili pepper. You can cut up a few more depending on how spicy you like it. 1 small to medium shallot. We're gonna chop very finely a 1-inch cube of ginger, and then about 4 cloves of garlic. Now, if you can find ginger garlic paste, I recommend using that. You would use about 2 tablespoons in this recipe, and that way you don't have to cut up your ginger and your garlic. Makes it a little easier on you. Next, we're gonna get a large saute pan, heat about 3 tablespoons of oil. I recommend using a neutral oil. We're using grapeseed. With your pan on medium heat, add your shallot, your garlic, and your ginger to the pan. Don't worry, exact measurements will be in the description of the video. You're gonna wanna season this with a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna add some spices now. We're gonna add about 1.5 teaspoons of some cumin seeds, about 1 teaspoon of some mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of some turmeric powder, 1.5 teaspoons of some coriander powder, and then we're gonna let that cook until it's fragrant and the onions and the garlic are translucent. So next we're gonna add some fresh herbs to this. I don't have any Thai basil, so I chose to use a pineapple sage to kind of brighten up the dish a little bit. If you can't find this, go ahead and use Thai basil leaves. Next, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of fish sauce. This is gonna add a lot of umami flavor to our curry. Add 1/4 cup of wine and let that reduce for just a minute. Cut up your tomatoes, small dice with the seeds in, we want that juice. We're gonna go ahead and add them to the pan. Let them cook for about 5 minutes or so until they start to get incorporated into the sauce. Next, we're gonna add a 13.5 ounce can of coconut milk. I recommend taking your coconut milk and emptying it into a container and then whisking it. Sometimes the coconut cream solidifies at the top and then the bottom of the can's all water. I recommend blending it well so your curry doesn't break. Next, season it with a little more salt and pepper to taste. And then we're gonna add some herbs here. We're gonna add some fresh cilantro or coriander depending on where you're from. Add that to your curry, making sure to hold some back later for garnish. Next, we're gonna cut up some green onion. Make sure to hold some back for garnish later on when we go to plate this. Let the curry cook until it's to your desired thickness. I like a double cream consistency with mine personally. Make sure to give it a taste and make sure the salt levels are to your liking. Next, we're gonna chop up our chicken that we set aside earlier. I like to cut them up into little bite-sized cubes. Make sure you add all that juice from the chicken that's in the bowl. It's gonna be a lot of flavor there. You don't wanna miss out on that. Add your chicken to the curry and let that cook for another 5 to 7 minutes until hot. Next, we're gonna cut up a pineapple. This is optional. Really, this is just for garnish. You could add a little bit to the curry if you wanna sweeten it up, or add a little bit of palm sugar. That helps too if you like a little bit of a sweeter curry. We're just gonna use this as a garnish for today. All right, let's get ready to plate this up. I like to use a nice shallow, wide bowl. Add your rice to one side of the plate, and then spoon your curry to the opposite side of the rice. We're gonna go ahead and garnish this with a little bit of cilantro, some fresh scallions, some pineapple, and this little fancy carrot arrow thing that you're probably not gonna eat, so just skip that. Enjoy! So there you have it. We made our Choo Chee inspired curry. It had a nice sweetness to it and a bunch of umami flavor. There's just one thing though. I forgot the lime juice. Make sure you add about a tablespoon of lime and then add a little lime wedges garnish. It's gonna brighten up the dish. It's gonna make all the difference. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Until next time, be kind to each other. Peace.